Hi, I'm Andrea Earle, and the lesson I built is on extreme weather for a 6th grade science teacher in my district. We worked together to develop the content for the lesson, and I built it into Canvas for him. This lesson uses the Iron Chef EduProtocal, which is a modified Jigsaw, perfect for online instruction. The lesson starts with what do you notice, what do you wonder, where students watch a video of extreme weather events and then write their observations. The next part of the lesson had students completing an ungraded survey where they select the topic they'd like to research. The topics were listed and students could pick their first, second, and third choices. From those choices, the teacher then created groups in the Groups tab in Canvas. Since this teacher teaches 5 sections of the same topic, we ended up with a lot of groups. To keep things simple, we numbered the groups SW for severe weather. The first digit is their period, and the second digit is their group number, and then the topic. So for example, here we have SW 4.2 tornadoes. This is period 4, group 2 tornadoes. And you can see there are 4 members in this group. The teacher manually dragged the students into the groups based on their selections from the ungraded survey. The third part of the lesson was the jigsaw itself, using the Iron Chef protocol. The directions stated for this project: you will create a tasty presentation for your classmates. You will work with a collaborative team to complete these slides. If you look at the slides, it talks about the main course, which is the main work for covering the content in the slides template. The dessert talks about adding color, design, more fun elements to the presentation. But that's called the dessert because we don't want students focusing on making everything pretty. We want to focus on the content, which is the main course. Here's a quick run through of the slides. Each team received a copy of these slides in their collaboration. We started with having students put their names in alphabetical order, and then that gave them their assignments or their roles and responsibilities for this task. Then each slide had different pieces of information the students needed to gather from all of their resources. All the resources were linked to these tabs at the bottom, or these buttons. So winter storms, all the resources for winter storms were shared through this Padlet. And students could choose which of these resources to use. They had to use at least 2. Next, I'm going to show you how I set up the collaborative groups, because that can be a little tricky. If you set up all your groups at one time, then everyone gets the same document and is then working on the same document rather than one document per group. If we go to the Collaborations tab, you'll see that each group has its own collaboration. So this is the severe weather group, period 2, group 1, tornadoes. Now I'm going to show you my workaround, how I was able to assign the same template to each collaborative group. I start by opening up my template and making a copy of all of the slides. Next, I select the Collaborations tab in Canvas and start a new collaboration. Since these are Google Slides, I'm going to select Google Apps. Now, instead of selecting individual people for this collaboration, I'm going to select the group. And the group I'm going to select for this collaboration is 9.1 sandstorms. Now, the benefit of assigning it to a group is twofold. One, every student in that group will have access to these slides I'm creating now. And when I grade the assignment, all students in the group, because it's a group assignment, all students will get the same grade. and I only have to grade it once, and they only have to submit once. Under document, I'm going to click presentation, and then I'm going to type in the name of the document. It's going to be severe weather, but I'm going to change this to sandstorms 9.1. And actually, I want the 9.1 in front so that it alphabetizes nicely. Now I'm going to submit, which actually creates the collaboration. Now the next step is to go to the actual collaboration and paste the slides in. Whenever you create a new collaboration, it's always a blank document. Whether it's slides or Word document, it's always blank. And in the past, these students have had trouble making a forced copy and then sharing it with the other members of their group. So this is how we're bypassing that issue. When I click on their collaboration, their slide deck automatically opens. So all I need to do now is paste in the slides from my template. And I'm just going to keep the original styles. Then I go back, delete the blank slide at the top, and now each group, severe weather 9.1 sandstorms, has their individual presentation. When you look at the share button, you can see that in this presentation, me as the teacher, I already have access, and I'm the owner of the document. As each student logs into this document or clicks on this document in the collaborations and opens it, their name will be added to the list. Let's look at one group's work. You can see that each slide deck has the title, the directions, the team members, and here's the work that the teams included. Originally, we were going to have each team share out in front of the class with the teacher going through the slides, but due to connectivity issues, we're going to have students use the record to slides tool. It's an extension in Google Chrome, and they're going to record their presentation on their own slides. And then the decks will all be available for other students to watch. And you can see this is a Sunday, and there's a student working on it right now. Students will be finishing these next week, and then I'll be able to get their feedback. So far, the teacher has seen an increase in participation for most students based on this activity. And students who normally don't talk during class or can't talk because of connectivity issues are participating in these groups synchronously and on their own time as well. I hope you enjoyed my adaptation of the Jigsaw, otherwise known as the Iron Chef EduProtocal.